Hey guys, Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, and this is Mail Monday. The way this is going to happen is I'm going to answer a couple of your questions, and then when it's over, I'm going to answer the question, which is, why did I do Mail Monday again? So if that interests you, then settle down, get comfortable, because here we go. Hey Woody, I started high school recently and decided to ask out this girl who I've been talking to for a while. She said she wasn't looking for a relationship, and I'm okay with that. But here's the problem. About twice a week, she says something bad about herself, and I think it's because she knows I'll give her support and I'll tell her it's not true. I'm starting to get tired of this compliment fishing, and I don't know what to do. Any help would be great. Love the vids. Dude, drop the girl. Drop the girl, drop the girl, drop the girl. Forget it. It's not worth it. And here's the thing. You're doing what a lot of people do, especially people in high school, which is to say, you pursue this girl, you go after her until you finally don't get her and move on to somebody else. Now, I'll admit, every once in a blue moon, some guy gets the girl. But what happens most of the time is you waste a lot of your high school years on time that could have been spent talking to someone who likes you back. Don't get too caught up in one person. I see this constantly. And the worst thing that you could be doing in high school, which for non-Americans is ages like 14 to 18, is to waste that time trying to get a girl who doesn't like you back. Is to waste that time thinking to yourself that, if this is the one perfect girl, this is the only girl who can ever make me happy, and anyone other than her will be settling for second place, right? If you have that mindset, then you're doing this terribly wrong. And you need to just, put her down and move on. And I want you to ask yourself, like, let's say hypothetically there was a girl that liked you. And, you looked at her and you just said, nope, she's not a fit for me, right? I don't know. I'm trying not to say the harshest stuff, which is like she isn't in your class or you're out of her league or something like that. Because obviously the inverted situation might imply with you and her. But let's say that is the deal. That some girl likes you and she's too chubby or too ugly or too zitty or too whatever. And you decide, this isn't going to work out. Will her being extra nice to you change your mind? Will her, carrying your books on the way to class change your mind? Will it make you say, you know what? At first I didn't see the true value of this girl, but now that I see that she's, being over the top nice to me like a puppy dog, now I think she's awesome. No, probably not. Probably not. It's why negging works. If you guys are unfamiliar with negging, it's this idea of giving out soft insults or almost compliments. Stuff like, you'd be really pretty if you wore a shorter dress. Or, your eyes look nice. Are those fake? Those fake contacts? Those are fake. And it almost inflates your own self-worth, social worth, that's what I was going for, by, having the confidence to put down someone else. And it's something that people do. It's an asshole tactic to pick up girls. Don't do it. But just saying, it's a thing that people do, and negging works. Negging works because it elevates you above this social thing. What quote-unquote nice guys do is they don't elevate themselves, they demote themselves. They put themselves down to the point where the girl thinks less of them. They think, oh, this is a puppy dog. This is someone who follows me around. It doesn't make them suddenly realize how wonderful you are. Anyway, what do you do with this girl that's fishing for compliments? Stop trying to get in her pants. We all know that's what you're trying to do. Knock it off. Go find someone who will let you in willingly. That's your next step here. Don't waste your glorious high school years on somebody who doesn't like you back. It's a huge mistake. Oh, and before I read this one, don't get tripped up into thinking that high school years are as good as it gets, because it's not. I never really liked that. Adults who peaked in high school acting like high school is the best thing that there is. It gets even better if you don't fuck up. But back on topic. Let's read this one. Hey Woody, first off, you're a great YouTuber and your videos are great. Here's the problem. I went into high school with a good friend group that got along really well. We played COD, Battlefield, and Minecraft together and had a great time. However, early on in the school year, all but me and one other friend got hooked on marijuana. They quickly spiraled into addiction, and now every penny they earn goes toward it. I soon lost touch with them, knowing they were a toxic friend group, still playing Xbox with the one non-druggie. I found a new friend group, which is great, but my old friends now have found cocaine and crack as the new drug of choice. Part of me is waiting for them to lose control, but another part, my full-out Canadian part, still remembers that we were friends and wants to help them. I tried talking to them about it, and they seemed unconcerned of the risks. What should I do? Do I help them? If so, how? Any response would be great, whether it be Mail Monday or a normal message. Keep up the great work. P.S. WoodysGamertag will soon be the biggest gaming channel out there, and you are powerless to stop it. It's funny that you asked me this one, because it's a thing that I kind of struggle with too, which is to say, this notion of like having a toxic friend, right? You know, what I sometimes do is let them walk all over me again and again and again for years and years and years, before I finally, you know, cut them loose and say no more. But you, on the other hand, cut your friends loose, which is good if they're toxic. It's good. You don't want this to be your crowd. One, people judge you by the crowd you hang with. Two, you're influenced by that. You know, what if you were doing drugs, coke, crack, stuff like that? That'll wreck you. You know, that would be a huge mistake. So anyway, yeah, it's good that you cut them loose. As far as what to do for them now, you know, how to help them, you pretty much can't help people who don't want help. And that's what I'm hearing from there. You know, if your friend doesn't want to change, like, your friend needs to be driving his own change. That's the deal. I'll mention Wings of Redemption and FPS Kyle, right? So Wings of Redemption had a weight loss problem, and Kyle brought him into his house and tried to provide motivation when there wasn't enough, right? Kyle, you know, thought, well, I've got, you know, discipline to spare. I will train you. I will feed you. I will do all that stuff. And in 2 weeks, he wanted to go home. And after a whole lot of, you know, begging and cajoling and pressuring, they got him to stay for 3 weeks, not a month, but 3 weeks. And that's pretty much where that ended. Afterwards, you know, he gained all the weight back, and that was the thing. You can't be their discipline. They have to be their own discipline. That's how this stuff works. You can't unhook them from cocaine and crack. You can't make them be, you know, somebody until they want to be it on their own. And that's the deal there. So you know, what do you do at this point? It's okay to cut somebody loose. It's okay. It happens. You can't be there forever, you know, being their doormat, being, you know, a good influence on them, hoping that they'll eventually be the, you know, a good influence on themselves. That's not how this goes. So, you know, what do I think you should do? I think you should do you. You know, and it sounds selfish, and if you're wired like me, it even feels a little selfish, like you're supposed to be doing more, like you're supposed to be saving the world. But you're not. You know, you're supposed to be, you know, you're here in high school setting yourself up for your future, and not, you know, taking away from you in order to give to somebody else. I guess it's generous and it's kind, and I'm built like that too. But gosh, you know, what are they doing for you? You know, is this a two-way street? Are they sitting there, you know, encouraging you to study and encouraging you to, you know, get to your next level? No, they're not. They're not. They're takers. And when you have takers or toxic friends or negative people or trouble like this in your life, even though they were once a positive influence, you cut them loose and you live the rest of your life. You don't owe it to them to be, you know, the super you, and you don't owe it to them to provide, to clean them up when they're not cleaning up themselves. That's how that is. All right, this one's pretty long, so I'm going to paraphrase it. There's a long-time sub, and he's British. He was in university, and in his second year, he didn't do well, so he had 2 resits. I don't know what a resit is, but I interpret it to be like summer school. He had to do these extra classes to stay in school. He got lazy in the summer, and he failed one of his resits, so now he's kicked out of university, which Americans would call college. When he found out, his mom told him to get this student engineer job 40 miles away. He got it, but it turned out to be fake, and he borrowed a bunch of money for like a car and insurance and things like that, and he finds himself in a really bad spot. He has no job, he got kicked out of university, and he's deep in debt. So I'll pick up from the letter. My parents are mad at me. They think I'm an idiot, which I suppose I am. I've been depressed before, but never like this. I leave my room only for food. I'm sad, Woody. I have very few real friends, no chance at a girlfriend, no job, no money, and disappointed parents. I know you said suicide is a selfish thing to do, but I hate my life right now and want it to stop. I'm not happy. I'm just looking for attention, I suppose. I don't get much. Sorry for wasting your time. If you see this message, one back would be great. I feel like I know you so well watching Days of Painkiller already. Thanks for all the videos and all the best. The thing that struck me about this message that I could relate to as a young guy was the lack of future. For those that don't know me, I had terrible grades in high school, a 1.98 GPA, and which is terrible. It's like a failure type person, and I felt like I had no future too. And when he said stuff like, no chance at a girlfriend, no money, disappointed parents, etc., the no chance at a girlfriend thing, like he's deeming himself not worthy, no real friends, stuff like that. And when you're in a tough spot like this, the striking part of it is it feels like there's no way out, right? Like if you're in a car accident and you're not hurt, then you know darn well that someday you'll have a car again and everything's going to be fine. If you get one bad grade, you know darn well that it's only one grade and that, in the long term, this won't matter. That's that. But this guy is looking at a long term and feeling like he's in a hole that he can't get out of. And the thing is, he can get out of it. He just doesn't know, and he doesn't see it. Now, I will be straight with you. The path out isn't easy. When you stay on the straight and narrow and you always get good grades and you follow the advice of your parents, then life is, it's like you're playing it on Recruit, to use the Call of Duty thing. It's a piece of cake. However, when you do what you did and when you do what I did, then all of a sudden, there's things like night school, there's tougher jobs, there's school and work at the same time, crap like that, to make up for your previous sins. And that's where you are. Your next step here is to pick a direction and pursue it. Pursue it like it's a passion. Your next step is to get some success in life and then build upon that. Go apply to your school. Go talk to the one that kicked you out and see if they'll re-accept you. Go do whatever it takes. But don't be denied your success. You're smart enough. You know you are, right? You just got lazy. I don't know how that happened. I know for me, it just seemed to spiral into laziness. I don't know, the punishments weren't soon enough. The sort of like performance feedback loop, just, it wasn't there. My reward system was fucked, I guess. And I just didn't see the point of working. And, I slept and slacked until I put myself in a hole. Maybe that's what you did. I don't know. But I do know that to get out of the hole, your next step is to decide what you want from life, and then don't be denied that thing. That's what it is. Just decide, choose it and say, you know what? I do think I want to be an engineer. I'm going to make that happen, and I will not be denied that thing. Damn it. That's your next step. And then, whatever it takes. Maybe it's night school. Maybe it's an alternative school. Maybe you can't. Maybe there's a lesser one that will let you in, after you didn't do well in the first one. I don't know. But life is really long, and there are lots and lots of opportunities to correct mistakes. So correct it. You can do it. I did it. I know you can do it. It's just harder, because when you make a mistake, you have to buckle down and fix it. So fix it. And before long, you'll be swimming in women and money. All right. Now, what I alluded to at the start of the video, why I made Mail Monday. What happened was a couple weeks ago, I tweeted out this picture. It's a picture of my friend sitting in a bunch of watermelons in my truck. And that's FPS Kyle, if you don't know him from Painkiller already. Anyway, a bunch of people started, remembering the story and how that kind of came full circle. And here it is for those of you that don't know. I'll tell it and fast forward. I used to work at Cisco. It's this Fortune 500 company, and I worked in their IT department as a senior software engineer. One of the things I did was design software or senior software architect, and I designed software. And I was spending my days with people who had frustratingly thick accents, usually arguing not in the interest of the company, but on, boosting their own resume. And Kyle tweets me a picture similar to this one where he had a truck filled with like watermelons, explosives, and diesel fuel and things like that. And I was envious. I was jealous. It was like, man, his life is so amazing. And then I became determined. Like, I want my life to be that amazing. I want not to be living in this cube, but instead to be living my life. I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be a guy who does cool stuff. And, I did some pretty cool things. I do some pretty cool things. It worked out. But what happened was the number of people on Twitter who had been with me for years, who recognized that story and how it came full circle. And finally, my truck is filled with watermelons. And I kind of had a similar experience when I filled it with microwaves. But it made me kind of feel like there's this sort of team, this group, this Team Gamertag thing that is still around. And I felt like I should be doing it again. That's all. I felt like, I don't know. I liked, there were people out there who've been watching me for years who kind of have a connection to me, who support me. And, to see, I was like, wow, so many people sort of recognize the impact of this picture. What to me felt like a personal story, but was actually a pretty public story, one that a lot of people are invested in. And I was like, I bet these guys would like it if I fired up Mail Monday. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do it every week, but I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it because I was grateful, because people cared. And the fact that so many people do is still a big deal to me. And I don't know. I was just taken aback by what we have here, and I guess I don't know. It seems arrogant for me to say I'm giving back by making Mail Monday. I mean, I just didn't know what else to do, and for those of you who've been watching me for years and have been on my side and such, then thank you, and. I feel like sometimes I'm not as grateful as I can be, or I'm focused on the wrong, and trying to fix that. So anyway, this was Mail Monday, and if you liked it, give it a like, and if you disliked it, give it a dislike. But either way, I'm grateful that you're here listening to me. So thanks.